Good afternoon, my name is Felipe. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to continue the study of international logistics. If you like the video, give us a like, share this video with your friends. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you very much. If you're going to buy internet, click in the link at the description, Amazon and Shopee. Let's study international logistics. Export. Documents related of terms of sale. Documents are of significance to the logistic manager for these three reasons. First, documents such as the letter of credit specify how the shipment must be handled. Second, part of the challenge of international logistics is handling all the documents themselves. The logistics manager must know how they relate to each other in a processing sense. Last, the logistics manager is responsible for inputting data contained in some of the documents. Foreign trade documentation is complex and will be covered in Chapter 12. However, documents directly relevant to the terms of sale will be covered here. In the discussion of basic payment terms above, the use of draft was referenced. A draft is a demand for payment, the opposite of check, which is demand to pay. Drafts, like checks, are processed through banks as bill of exchange. Drafts can be used to exchange goods for money. Obviously, physically, exchange goods themselves for money payment would be somewhat awkward. Drafts substitute for the goods in the exchange process. This is facilitated in marine cargo shipments by the bill of lading. Title to goods in international trade evidenced by the ocean bill of lading. Strictly speaking, terms of sale denote where title transfers. However, the bill of lading serves as documentary evidence of title. Bill of lading also will be discussed in greater detail later. Suffice here to say that a bill of lading is legal evidence of title, hence ownership. Goods covered by a bill of lading or owned by whomever is named as consignee in the document. The bill of lading issued by the ocean carrier to the shipper. The carrier contractual obligation is to release the goods only to the consignee. The party to own the goods are to be delivered. If no consignee is mentioned by name on the bill of lading, then the document becomes negotiable upon the endorsement by the shipper. That is to say, the goods belong to whomever possesses the bill of lading. The form of consignee is to order of shipper. When the shipper or his agent endorses the bill of lading, signs the back, the document is referred to as a blank endorsed bill of lading. The blank endorsed or negotiable bill of lading is very useful to accomplish exchange because it represents title to the goods it covers. It can be traded for cash or an obligation to pay. This is precisely what the bank does when it handles document for collection purpose. It offers the bill of lading to the buyer in return for the amount of money demanded on the draft, or alternatively, in return for the buyer promise to pay the draft on the date of maturity. Payment required on representation of the draft is referred to as a cite. Draft documents against payment transaction. Extension of title in return for an obligation is referred to as a date draft documents against acceptance when the buyer pays or accepts the draft according to the terms of payments. He is given the bill of lading, and with it he can demand the goods from the ocean carrier. It may be appropriate at this point to consider how much protection is afforded through use of these two payment modes. In a same situation, the buyer gains control of the goods simply against his signature. There is the other risk that he will not pay when the draft matures. The maturity date is the date on which the payment is due. The tenor is the length of time of maturity, 6 days, and consider this risk, which is given to the importance all businesses put on their credit rating. Thus, a buyer who accepts a draft and then fails to make payment to a bank risks jeopardizing his all-important credit rating. Nevertheless, the chance of default remain a real risk. Inside draft documents against payment transactions, the buyer cannot gain possession of the goods without paying the bank first. The bank, being the seller's collection agent, is relatively risk-free but still not without risk. Shall the buyer decide not to pay the draft, the seller has no recourse but no arrange to return the merchandise and absorb the expense, or to abandon the cargo. There is also the possibility that foreign exchange may not be available for remittance, or even that the collection bank itself may become insolvent. In the case of foreign exchange shortage, the buyer must wait for exchange to become available, or he can elect to discount the draft. Documentary letters of credit. A letter of credit is a guarantee issued by a bank that will be paid the beneficiary upon the presentation of certain documents, evidencing that the conditions of the credit have been satisfied. The letter of credit substitutes the credit and creditworthiness of the issuing bank for that of the buyer on whose behalf is issued. The bank comes between the two parties. Indeed, where letters of credit are employed, two new contracts come into existence. First is contract between the buyer and the opening bank, also known as the issuing bank. Second is contract between the bank and the beneficiary, the seller. The second contract obligates the bank to pay the beneficiary upon satisfaction of the terms. I'm going to stop here, later it continues. Thank you very much. Subscribe, give us a like, share this video, and export a lot. Thank you very much.